the public that yes, security is the most important issue and therefore we have to.
We were told then, guys, don't ask for weapons, negotiate with terrorists and do reforms. We behaved well. We've done reforms. We've negotiated Minsk. We didn't ask hard weapons. And Russia invaded us with a genocidal war. And now the NATO summit is telling us, wait for more. And, you know, when I was leaving Kiev and my son is now sleeping in the corridor because of the air raids, I had to explain my son that, you know, I'm going in order to meet President Biden and to ask him to invite Ukraine to NATO, that soon you will not need to sleep in the corridor. On Friday, I will be back in Kiev. Jake, please advise me, what should I tell my son? That President Biden and NATO didn't invite Ukraine to NATO because he's afraid of Russia losing, afraid of Ukraine winning, or there are back-channel communications with Kremlin, which is a terrorist organization, to reach the Minsk III deal. Should I prepare my son to be a soldier and fight Russians when he will be 18 years and 7 years? Thank you, Jake.
So first of all, thank you for the work that you do every day to try to advance Ukraine's democracy, deepen it, to try to deal with the challenge of corruption which continues to exist. And I know that you have been a big champion for that. And what I would say to your son and to everyone in Ukraine is, you know, the rest of the world is in awe of the bravery and courage of every Ukrainian citizen who's standing up in the face of Russia's brutal war, its brutal aggression. Not just those fighting on the front lines, because the front lines have extended to cities and towns across Ukraine, given the hell raining down from the skies in drones and missiles and other attacks by Russia. I would say also that the United States of America has stepped up to provide an enormous amount of capacity to help ensure that Ukraine's brave soldiers have the ammunition, the air defense, the infantry fighting vehicles, the mine-clearing equipment, and so much else to be able to effectively defend against Russia's onslaught and to take territory back as well. And that we will continue to do that for as long as it takes. And President Biden will stand with President Zelensky today and other partners to do exactly that, as I was describing before. President Biden was clear and straightforward in his public comments about his perspective on the question of Ukraine and NATO. And some of what you said in your remarks about motives, I think, was entirely unfounded and unjustified. The president said quite simply that he's not prepared to have Ukraine in NATO now because it would mean that the United States and NATO would be at war with Russia now. And he also pointed out that every country joining NATO needs to take on a set of reforms, democratic and other reforms, and that Ukraine has made progress on this path, but there's more progress to make. So I think the most important thing in this respect is for us to be able to have the kind of honesty that was inherent in your question, but also for us to make sure that in having that honesty, certain insinuations or implications inherent in your question, which are not founded, get checked at the door so that we can talk to one another in goodwill, in good faith. And, you know, there has been a lot of conspiracy theorizing that simply is not based on any reality whatsoever. And also, I would just say the American people have sought in watching and wanting to stand in solidarity with the brave and courageous people of Ukraine to step up and deliver. And I think the American people do deserve a degree of gratitude for, from us, from the United States, from our government, deserve gratitude for their willingness to step up, and from the rest of the world as well, as do every ally and partner that's supporting it. And all of us should, in the final analysis, say the thing that is most powerful, most consequential in all of this are the people of Ukraine, even the youngest people of Ukraine, like your son, because they are the ones really carrying the burden of this. We have to do what we can to support them, and we will do that. I will personally do that every single day, as we have done for the last 500 plus days of this invasion, and as you pointed out, going all the way back to Russia's invasion in 2014.
Jake, thank you very much for what you have said. Thank you very much for this American commitment to European security. If it weren't for the US, we don't know where Putin would stand in Ukraine. So thank you for this. But thank you for joining us here. You know, you have a very dense calendar, and you were asked there for all the negotiations, etc., that you took time to come to the NATO Public Forum. We are very grateful to you. Thanks, and all the best to you, Jake.
Thank you.